Hello everyone, welcome back to Bad Bitch Juice Show, where we drink bad bitch juice and do skincare and sheet mask and talk about everything bad bitch.
Ooh, I had to sneeze. No, I don't. I feel it. Just go.
Today we're gonna be drinking some sparkling water again. We need to change things up pretty soon with what we're drinking. I don't know, like next time maybe we're gonna go super hard and
We have soju in the fridge.
bless your soul.
Thank you. Do you want to mix water with soju? Sparkling water?
No, we'll stay hydrated today. Cheers, beach.
Cheers, beach. Oh, so good.
That's literally how we do all our commercials in Korea, by the way. Like beer or alcohol, whatever it is. It's always like the pretty like K-pop girl.
훌륭합니다. So, you said your skin is feeling good recently, so I'm just giving you a brightening one.
Can you please make sure my like sheet mask this time like it's well fitted? Thank you. Like you don't take care of me, Lucero. 1, 2, 3. Ding. Like come on.
I'm sorry. I'll do better.
Like I'm eating the thing half the time, and you're just like
Watching.
like
I mean, if you're not doing anything either, I'm like, okay.
because I'm passionate about the topic, so I'm just eating it. You know, I'm making a compromise.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's like if you see something stuck in my teeth and I'm not doing anything about it, you just don't say anything?
No, I say something.
Yeah. So help me fix my mask.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Thank you. What are we talking about today? Oh, yeah.
Masculinity.
Today we're talking about masculinity and why it's could be very toxic in today's society. And this topic stemmed from a TikTok I made, and someone was asking me, David, why are boyfriends so bad at taking photos in the first place? Very lighthearted question. I was like, why are men so bad at taking photos in the first place? At least in my thoughts and my theory, largely it has to do with how masculinity is represented in media. When we think about peak masculinity, we think like maybe some Hollywood actors, right? Showing off big muscles, looking too cool for school. And that's how masculinity is many times represented in media. Because of that, boys are grown up to think certain things are for boys and certain things are for girls. And one of those things is beauty. And anything that lightly has to do with beauty and how you look, how you appear, and anything that has to do with like more emotions and care is seen to be a girly thing. Right? So skincare, fashion, photography, and photos of you. Another TikTok that I watched was this one Asian guy who's living in like the Midwest or something. He was just saying, why do all the men here think I'm gay?
Oh,
Kind of like me, right? Like, except his scenario was a little bit more extreme because all the men that he was showing in his video were dressed like typical jeans and then like a flannel, right? And he was there. He had some jewelry, accessories. He had like he was wearing a white button up and it was like a few buttons down. And he was just making a TikTok saying, why do all the men here think I'm like gay, right? And I realized like living in California, that's largely not my surrounding. And I have to come back to reality and perspective and realize California is not the majority of America, and the large population of America still like thinks and acts like that, a lot of men. And that's where I think a lot of the toxicity really brews, right? Where men think certain things aren't for them. And if they catch other men doing it, they are seen or labeled as gay or not masculine. And it's just interesting, right? Like in Korea, everyone grows up with fashion and skincare and beauty because I guess K-pop, K-drama. I don't know if I talked about this before, but if you walk in like the fashion areas of Korea, you see billboards and ads, and it's both women and men. Just beautiful men and women with good skincare. So I grew up very differently. But even me grew up thinking a lot of things were just for girls and then just for guys. It must be so different for boys growing up now with social media. But for me, I'm a 94. Like I'm at the very end cusp of millennial. But for me, I grew up thinking volleyball was for girls, dance was for girls, and of course, like anything like photography wise, I was still that little boy. I was like, oh, no, mom, I don't want to take photos. Why are we taking photos? That might be a kid thing, but I think it also like it definitely is a boy thing as well. And funny enough, I ended up doing all those things that were for girls, volleyball, dance, and photography. But you know, that's if you grow up thinking certain things are just for girls, in your heart and in your mind, those things have no value to you. And because they have no value to you, you don't prioritize anything of that. You know, it's not on the list at all. You don't think about it. You don't value it. You don't understand the value of it and why other people do it, right? I didn't understand why people like dressed up. I just wanted to be comfy. I just wanted to go play basketball as a little kid. So I say all of that to answer the question of, David, why are men so bad at taking photos in the first place? This is how masculinity is represented in media. I'm going to soon enough go in and talk about why it's been so good for me, for the lack of terms here, to explore those girly things that society says is for girls. But I talked a lot. Give me your thoughts on it.
So I grew up like with my Mexican parents who like I started getting into K-pop when I was like 11 or 12. So I started seeing a lot of men taking care of themselves. I would watch a lot of variety shows, a lot of dramas. And then, like, of course, I became, like, a little fangirl of, like, a bunch of idols. And then I would, like, watch videos, and my mom was like, oh, those guys look gay, or, like, are they girls? I'm like, why would you say that? I'm like, what are you talking about? And she's like, oh, well, they have makeup on and all these things. And then here I am, like, I'm like, oh, like, these 12, like, me at 12 years old, like, oh, these men are so handsome. Oh, thank you. And then it started getting into, like, as I got older, because I still try to like fight my mom, like, what are you talking about? But she would be like, oh, like, Lucero, do you really want to date a boy who like puts so much effort like that? Like, aren't you worried that he's like gay? And I'm like, no, if he's taking care of his skin, like we cannot age together, you know. I don't want to like start, I don't know, looking way younger than my future hubby. Those things, it's just like taking care of yourself. Like, to me, I watched so many like things through the media that showcased a lot of men who were like being more feminine in terms of taking care of themselves. That's
interesting too, as we talked about the different generation. Again, I grew up in the time where we started getting internet. I knew of like the dial-up. Me growing up, even when I was growing up in Hong Kong, it was hard to watch like K-drama and Korean channels because you didn't have much access to it. For you, you're 4 years younger. So it's cool that you got to grow up being able to not just consume American media, but Korean stuff. So in a sense, you kind of know how I grew up a little bit. But sorry, I interrupted. Yeah.
No, I just think, yeah, it's interesting, and I'm grateful for that because it takes away of some of like the learned things that I grew up with. Because I'm pretty sure before I started watching that, I also wouldn't have wanted like, I probably wanted like super macho type of guy. I mean, me being like a preteen. I do see where my parents' mentality is like still a little bit behind. I don't want to say behind. Yeah, traditional. And like I try to teach my mom things, and she's like, okay, like she's opening up to it. But like I'm pretty sure if I were to show her an idol today, she'd be like,
Did mom think I was gay?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair too.
Does she still question it?
Oh, I don't know. I have to. Let me ask her.
Call her right now.
That'd be funny. No, and like in a way, I still fell into it because I thought you were gay too.
Oh, okay. Can you pinpoint certain things that you were like, oh, like he seems a little different from the most straight guys in America? Like, what was it? Is it the way I talked? Is it who I worked with? Is it the way I dressed? How I just, my tone?
I don't remember. I think it was probably like style and all the things that you mentioned, actually.
Yeah.
So like, I don't think that straight men can't do those things.
Right.
But my initial reaction is
right, they're not really represented.
Mm-hmm.
But it's interesting because you wouldn't look at the K-pop boy groups and be like, oh, they must be gay, right?
Yeah, no. But to me, I see that as like a lot of the times when they're wearing makeup, it's like for stage things, like you're like celebrity type of.
Right. It's not like just a private individual just expressing because they want to through like makeup. Like it's a little different.
It was, yeah. But now, if I see like boys wear makeup, I don't assume.
But again, you're fighting against the conditioning that was brought onto you too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like we're again like media doesn't just affect men in like the toxic ways that a lot of men might think if they take the masculinity to the extremes. Like that conditions everyone consuming it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. I think of the TikTok voice to text. Text to voice. Pat. But where were we? We talked about masculinity and media and how that affects not just men but also women. I've been taking it on myself to explore as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Like especially the Valentine's video. If you haven't watched that, click here and watch it now. You know, like doing the things that society says is deemed for girls to do or a non-straight man shouldn't do. Like go out and freaking do it. You know, and that just goes to like a lot of things. Stop taking it so seriously what society tells you what to do and what not to do. A lot of times we're like, even things like you have to go to school, like for from the Korean culture, that you have to go to school, become a doctor, become a lawyer. We can always break out of that and then find our own identity. I think that's one thing I really love about being an adult, like really trying to find my identity as much as possible. And again, going back to the topic, like how can we do that as men, is to do these things. Getting manicure, pedicure, getting wax down there where a lot of women do, but not a lot of men do. You know, and then that goes into like the whole topic of like, you know, like why are men always so like insistent on women being so cleanly shaved, but then like why aren't they grooming? What else did I do? I got a massage, which I think more men do too, but you know, just like self-care, and then obviously taking photos of yourself. And fashion, gosh. Like,
yeah. Oh my.
Like, man, just try a different thing, man. Just try, and then when you like feel good and you take a photo of yourself and let yourself be hyped up by someone else, whether it's your male friend or your girlfriend, like look at that photo and be like, shit, I look good. Damn.
Yeah, I think a lot of the men on dating apps that I've seen like don't care about fashion, which in a way, like I don't particularly mind. Because I also expect them not to, or I'm so used to them not caring.
But that truly affects the interaction. That's why I look for those things in women. Like I want someone who appreciates the things I appreciate. Because I know that if they do it for themselves, I know they will appreciate me and my efforts in it.
It's like the same thing that I think we talked about last week with the ballerina. It's like when you dance and you know.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking this morning. I was like, I need to bring up that. Thank you.
If you didn't watch last week's, which you should.
Click up here.
They mentioned like you can see like a ballet performance and think it's beautiful. Like I don't know much about ballet, but when I watch it, I'm like, wow, it's so graceful. It's beautiful. But when you're a dancer, you know the like time and effort and hard work, dedication, everything that goes into getting onto the points and how painful it is. You appreciate it that much more. Oh my gosh,
y'all! Like, you know, when that's what buying the flowers, that means so much to me now. I just, as a guy, I also I want to make this very clear. Like, I also, before exploring, did not understand why women want flowers. And a lot of women, I'm realizing some women don't want flowers, but majority, right? I just never understood why people wanted flowers. They're gonna die. Like, it just wasn't practical. Like, why don't I just buy you pizza instead, where we can eat and be like, you know, nourish our bodies or something at least. But like buying it for myself, I finally understood the value of it. And now when I give with meaning and intention, and not just like following the social damn norm, right?
Yeah.
You're not just wearing jeans and flannel just because society told you that's like feasible, or that's okay for you, So again, just exploring everything, But going back to the topic, especially for men, if you're watching this, try these things. Also the skirt too. When I put on the skirt, that was so different.
You look good. That was nice.
I mean, look, it doesn't mean I'm gonna wear skirts out, but it gives you a perspective.
Yeah, you see your legs.
It gives you perspective, and then how could this possibly affect my future interaction with a partner, with a future partner, right? I say I get a girlfriend, and she's like, babe, I put on this cute skirt. What do you think? Instead of being like, oh, like it looks cute, or like, why is it so short? Like I know when I put on that. Even for me, I was like, oh my god, I feel different. For the future partner in the future interaction, I know how that makes her feel and why she wants to wear it. So yeah, again, explore, fam, explore. Any last things from you?
I don't know. I think it's the same thing for me. Hopefully I can try different things that aren't always so feminine. My mom really loves seeing me in, like, for example, like this blouse. It's like frilly and super girly, but I do want to explore a little bit more into like masculine looks, and like not caring if my mom was like, oh, why are you wearing that? I want to try new things too, and I'm excited for you to try new things.
Can I say one more thing? Actually, can I say one more? A lot of like when I talked about that one viral video I made about me like coming out as a straight guy. Oh, yeah. It goes both ways to women as well. I think there's a lot of women out there who are like speaking up against like toxic masculinity, but you also choose to only date the macho, like that masculine type of men, and like that's what you or sort of conditioned to be attracted to those men, and you also wouldn't give a chance to like softer guys that are more open emotionally and more feminine, or are okay with exploring. Those same women wouldn't give them a chance, right? So like women as well, like you gotta give those men a try as well.
Like, please give me a chance.
Anyway, that's it for today's episode. Let us know what topic you'd like us to discuss next week, and we're gonna be staying bad bitches. I'm gonna stay a bad bitch by doing more pull-ups, because I was able to do only like 2 at one like sitting, but now I can do like 6 and 7, and that makes me feel really good.
I'm gonna because before working out with like just random videos, I do want to do like a more intentional workouts that help me gain strength, not just staying fit.
You want, or you are?
I am going to.
Okay. Next week we're gonna talk about Lucero being more of a boss in the studio. And stay bad bitches, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Bye.